All right. Steve Milone, what's up, buddy?
We're live, baby. What's going on?
We're live, man. Live without a net. Hey, man.
That's right. Don't
Good to
don't mess
see
up
you.
now.
Everybody, hey, my name's Mike Price, and I am thrilled today to have my good buddy Steve Milone on the Top Producer Series. We've been gone for a little bit. We've been busy in production. We've been
Rocking and rolling.
rocking and rolling, and now we're bringing it back. So, I wanted to introduce my friend Steve. Steve's been on here before, but I've known Steve for many years, and we're at the same company together. And Steve is a crusher. Steve's a listing guy, a listing specialist. Steve is a buyer specialist. He's got a team, and he is in the middle of it, and he is in the thick of it. And he is taking listings, and he is taking buyers, same as us over here. So we're going to chat today for a few minutes about listings, about buyers, about the market. We're not going to get into the weeds with the numbers and the detail. Everyone knows the rates are high. We're talking about what's it like talking to the clients. So Steve, tell us about what's going on in your world, man. You're taking a lot of listings, taking a lot of buyers. What are you seeing right now?
So, I mean, and you're seeing the same thing. I think anybody who's in it is seeing the same thing. I mean, the market is in here, North Atlanta, it's still kind of stubbornly slow. Like, we had hope at the beginning of the year with the rates. They've gone up since everything happened out in the Middle East. And so now buyers are very picky. And the sellers, we try and tell all of our sellers right now, you've got to be ready. The house has got to sing and dance. That's the first thing. Yeah. And secondly, you've just got to be ready to be flexible. And it stinks. I wish it was 2021 for these sellers again. Yeah. But it's not. It's like we're back to real estate now. Yeah. And the big thing I try to always tell buyers, or tell sellers rather, about buyers is like, you see these news blurbs every month. Like last month was the highest median house price in the country, like the record high, because it keeps incrementally going up. So that continues to happen. Even though the market's been slow, the prices keep going up. So the rates are higher now than they were in the beginning of the year. Yeah. The prices are higher now than they were beginning of the year. These buyers are not in the mood to go into a house and, all right, we'll move in, let's do $50,000 worth of work. Right. There's too much on the market right now. Like they don't have to do that. So
it's the buyers, and in some cases you can look at the data and is it a buyer's market? It's more of a buyer's market now than it has been because of what you just said, or because of what you said is that the buyers they can be patient. Years ago, and a lot of consumers, a lot of sellers are 3 years behind. They're always, my friend sold their house for $50,000 over in a day and a half with 11 offers. That's cool, and that can still happen.
Yes,
if the house is priced well, it's 10 out of 10. Everything checks the box. But buyers that we work with, we'll go out and look. Sometimes 2 and 3 weekends, 4 weekends. We can come back in a couple of weeks and see the same house we saw the first weekend still there. Yep. And in a lot of cases,
they just put a pin in it and they're like, let's keep looking and we'll come back. There's not a motivation to put an offer in today.
Yeah.
On most houses.
Yeah. And sellers, sellers expect, some sellers, you got to set the expectation up front, but some sellers expect that, hey, we only had 4 showings this weekend. Hey, that's great. 4 showings. We're looking for 5 to 7 showings in the first 2 to 3 weekends.
Right.
We're on track. And so it's really important, in our experience and what we're doing here is we try to set the expectation with the seller on the front end. Right. When we go and meet them and we give them a market analysis and hey, here's the things you need to do. We got to paint, we got to do all these things. And your home has got to stand out. It can't be like all the rest. It's got to be, it's a price war and a beauty contest. If you want to be the story that you sold your home in just a few days for list price or over, then the buyers have to, when they see your home, they have to want to be compelled to make an offer.
Right.
It's got to be
value.
It's got to be jam up jelly type, baby. It's got to be hitting on all cylinders.
I like
all the wood rots corrected. Everything's painted, new lighting. You've got to spend some money to make it look good, especially if you've lived there 8 or 9 years. Well, we did the kitchen, 10 years ago. Yeah, it was 10 years ago. We're going to have to make some changes.
Right.
If you want to get the full price. But it's definitely a challenge for a lot of sellers mentally. Tell me about some of your sellers. I mean, what are you doing on your team, and you're selling a lot of listings. What do you tell your sellers? How do you get them ready?
Well, I mean, part of it is that pricing conversation in the beginning. I mean, we have to have that conversation up front that,
Yeah.
You almost have to go into like an exploratory, it's an exploratory kind of pricing conversation or exploratory kind of pricing strategy. I mean, if you could plug your house in the wall and know exactly what the number is, it would make life so much easier.
Yeah.
But the market is going to dictate to us, and the market has changed dramatically from week to week this year based on where the rates are, based on what's going on. Because it's not just the rates, but with everything going on, like some people are just freaked out. They're like, I don't want to do anything. So it's like, so it is like every week. And we just having that, like you said, you have to have that conversation up front. It's a hard conversation to have. And what makes it hard too is like, there's a lot of agents who aren't having that conversation and they're blowing smoke and they're saying, you know what? I think we can get that number. And I think that we can do that. You don't have to worry about it. And it's like, and then we watch it like 3 months later, they're calling and saying, all right, the house didn't sell, Steve. I'm like, because this is what we need to do. Like, and then they say, all right, let's talk, So but the reality is when you look at it, it's real estate now.
Right.
So many agents and so many sellers, like you said, during the pandemic, like it was like arena football. The score was like 90-80. It was a piece of cake. I mean, all you had to do is like raise your hand. You had 25 offers. You didn't have to put a sign in the yard, Yeah. So, I mean, and thankfully, I think a lot of sellers realize that those days have passed. A lot of them. Some of them are still stuck, but a lot of them have. And, but the buyers, on the other side, that's the thing. Like you said, it's, theoretically we're at 4.9 months of inventory in Metro Atlanta. Technically it's a balanced market,
right?
But I don't think any realtor will tell you that sellers are in control. I mean, the buyers are really kind of in control of the market, which, we just, like you said, price war at a beauty contest. It's, back to good old fashioned real estate. And I think that's where we as professionals get the opportunity to come in and serve our people and tell stories and show examples of, look, these folks, they did it like this and they got this, and these folks didn't, and they sat for 3 months, and it's like, there's enough houses out there that show that trend,
Well, there's three kinds of prices when a seller's pricing their home.
Right.
There's the market price, which is, somewhere around here.
Mm-hmm.
And there's the seller's price, because they've got the emotional piece there.
Right.
And then you got the buyer price, which is down here. Buyers want it right here. Buyers are looking at it critical. I tell all my sellers, look, take off your seller hat for just a minute and put on your buyer hat. And I'll even go through listings inside while I'm at the house, I'll go through some listings. Go, let's look at these. Like, what would you pay for these? And they all, oh no, I wouldn't pay that because of this. I go, look, perfect. Now you understand what a buyer says when they come to your house. So forget it's your house, and forget that you have Christmas parties here, and forget that it's, your home. This is another house on the market. How do we make it stand out to the buyers so they're inclined to make an offer? And another thing, and I'm sure that you talk to your sellers about this too. The list price is not necessarily the sales price. The list price should be a marketing price.
I love that. And one of the guys that we work with, Dan Beer, who's in our network where we are, he has a great, he had a class on that talking about, it's a marketing tool is the price, and if you were to look at all the prices of all the houses that have ever sold, how many of them have hit exactly on that 100% number? Like very, 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 very few.
Right.
There's either below or it's above. So that is not going to be the number. So the question of like, what do you think my house is worth? To be honest, really, at the end of the day, that really doesn't matter. What matters is where can we price to where we're going to get the best offers for your house, the most people in here, fair offer, all that stuff. And like you said, the price is such a marketing piece because you can do all kinds of stuff too. You can do drone videos, you can do Facebook blasts, you can do, whatever it is. I could have a guy juggling chainsaws out front of the house at an open house. I could do whatever I want. That price is over by 50,000. No one's going to buy it.
Well, and that's the thing. It's like the marketing price. It's kind of like, Mr. Seller, we want to put your home in the best environment to receive the most activity in the shortest amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
And what that looks like is we're a range, and we're not going to know what the price is going to be until we put it on the market. We're just not going to know. Right. I don't know. No, any realtor comes in and tells you they know, they're lying to you. I don't know. Here's a really good, based on what you have and what they have and what's sold and all the things in the market and understand the market. This is a good range, but we're going to know based on our activity and not Zillow saves and not how many people are looking on Redfin and all that. It's how many boots come through the front door.
Right.
That's how many realtors hit that lockbox and how many calls we get to come see it. And 5 to 7 showings in the first 2 weekends, 3 weekends is a metrics that we've gone by for years. If it's 2 showings in the first 2 weekends, the market is saying we probably we most likely missed it, right?
Right.
If we've got 10, 12, 13 showings and no offers in the first couple weekends, the market's like, hey, this thing looks good. It's in the right area. We feel like it's, priced well, but once we get in it, this just isn't, in tooting my horn. So we're not going to make an offer. So we have to listen to the market. And that's one of the conversations I have with all my sellers. I know you do too. Mm-hmm. So look, the death of your listing is going to be when we get to this point, and I'm talking to you about these milestones, like 2 weekends, 3 weekends. Right. We're the 3rd weekend, we don't have an offer or a lot of activity. We've missed it on the price. And if we don't make adjustment on the price, you're just going to sit. And some of the phrases that I hear, and you hear too, I can just be patient for the right buyer. I'm not in a hurry to sell, and I don't want to give it away. Well, all those are unmotivated seller comments. Right. And don't put your home on the market unless you're ready to sell it.
Right. It's not that market. I talk to people about that all the time. This is not the market where I like my house, but man, I could get an extra 300 square feet by moving up the street, like a lifestyle move. Like nobody's doing lifestyle move right now with the rates where they are and the prices where they are. Like you said, there's motivation, to get the house sold. Those are the people who are selling their houses, and it's hard because you got to be fair with the sellers too. I mean, it's like. I completely understand wanting to squeeze every dollar out of it. Yes. That's what makes those conversations hard because, it's like, we're doctors almost. And it's like, that there's something that we have to do. They don't want to hear it. And we've got to, there's a way to approach it and everything like that. So that's always a skill that we're working on is our bedside manner and how to break it to them. But we're also doing them a disservice if, like you said, if we go way high and we're not telling them, look, we're way high. And if we want to get your house sold, this is how it's going to be. This is what we have to do.
I tell them, look, I'm the heart surgeon. Okay, I'm the heart doctor. I'm going to come in here and tell you, hey, you're going to die if you don't stop smoking, drinking every day, and not getting exercise and eat your vegetables. You got to start doing all those things, or it's going to end up badly for you. And the same thing, and I tell all the sellers too. And sometimes, I don't get all the listing appointments I go on now. I mean, I get a lot of them. But I just tell them on the front end. I want to be very direct and to the point with you, and I may not like that. Some people love it. I'm just going to tell you what you need to hear, and it's probably not going to be what you want to hear, but that's what you need in this situation when you're selling your home, because you can make a mistake here or a misstep or not listening to what really is you need to hear can cost you tens of thousands of dollars. Right. And they don't understand it, and a lot of sellers will hold on I'm not going to drop the price, and they'll hold on their price for 4, 5, 6, 7 months, all the house payments, all the utility payments to get that same number. And if you pay attention to the market and listen to your professional realtor, who most likely knows what they're doing, and get the price where it needs to be, you're going to sell it, and it's going to be a much better scenario. Right. And most, nobody wants to be on the money. I tell sellers, this should be a 60-day event in most cases. Now higher end, way high, 2, 3, 4, 5 million. Some that's a different buyer. That's a different market. Right. But sometimes, 60-day event, 30 days or less to get in a contract, 30 days or less to close. That's where we really should be. And that's where you're going to get the most money in the shortest amount of time. Right. Do you agree?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I mean, it's not a lot of people, I've run into sellers that think, well, if we got an offer like in the first 2 weeks, we went too low. It's like, No,
No,
that's no. If you got,
that's
it
what you're
means
looking
we did
for.
everything right. Now, if you
Yeah.
got 7,500 offers in the first 2 weeks, yeah, maybe we went too low. But you know what I mean? It's like, it's just hard. It's like, that's the goal. Because like you said, if you're languishing, if you're out there for 45, 60 days and you're still on the market, every buyer, I mean, and that's the thing I try to tell the sellers is like, if you were purchasing a house and you saw a house was on the market for 60 days, what's the first thing you think? Without even looking at a picture, what's the first thing you think? There's something wrong with the house.
Yep.
And it's like, I mean, there's nothing wrong with this house. The house is gorgeous. It's great. If it's not selling, I mean, you know, I want to get you every dollar I can, but we've got to figure out what the market says.
Well, and our job as realtors is not to, our job as realtors is to, we have a lot of things that we do,
right?
But we're to market the home. We're to market the home and it's not just marketing the home and putting the MLS and in 25 MLSs now and 400 websites. It's not just that. Mm-hmm. It's helping you understand, the seller understand the process and where we're at and why we're doing the things we're doing on the front end, getting it ready. And then in the negotiation piece, you know, a lot of buyers are going to come in and they'll have an inspection and they'll ask for everything. And the sellers get all upset. I go, don't get upset.
Yeah.
They're just shooting for the moon. Let's come back. Let's think about it. Look at the thing. If the electrical outlets are falling apart and going to fall in the sink, kill somebody. Let's fix those. Mm-hmm. But let's work through this. So there's a lot of emotion on the buy and the sell side. So let's flip to those buyers for a second, because buyers are the ones buying the house. And so, you know, we work with a lot of buyers on the team, about 60-40 sellers and buyers. We don't work with most sellers, but we work with a lot of buyers. And buyers are looking for the deal. Buyers are looking for the deal.
Right.
Buyers will pay list price or over if they feel like it checks all the boxes and they feel like it's something they can move in right away.
If it's insane value, they'll make the move.
Yeah. I mean, you know, how many buyers do you have, Steve, that want to go in and do, like you said earlier, want to go in and do $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 worth of work when they buy the house?
No, none of them. None of them want to come in and, you know, I mean, I've got some, we just closed on one where, I mean, they've got to do some painting and got to pull down some wallpaper. They got to, you know, redo the kitchen, whatever. But that's more of they know that it's a long-term thing. But the bones of that house was so solid. The house was clean, looked the part and all that stuff. So it's like, it's not like they're buying like a rehab. They're buying a really nice house. They just want to jazz it up a little bit. Mm-hmm. But I mean, we saw some killer houses, like some really, really nice houses that they were able to just say, that's really, really nice. Let's put a pin in it. Let's come back to it, you know, just because that's the speed of the market right now.
Well, because put a pin in it because it's been on the market 75 days, you know, so it's not going anywhere. And so, you know, sellers, if you're a seller or you know a seller, just hear this. And this is the truth. You have the strongest position you have as a seller is in the first 30 to 45 days at the most. 45 days is probably a little too long.
Exactly.
The first 30 days is where you're holding all the cards. Okay. Yep. After that, every week that goes by after that, you can Google anywhere, ChatGPT, Claude, whatever. Hey, what are the best days to sell a home? Like how long do I have in the peak of selling my home? And you will see the curve go 3 weeks, 4 weeks at the most right here.
Yep.
And then it goes like this. And without a price adjustment right away, it's just going to sit there. And you do a price adjustment, we start the clock again. So it should go back up like that.
Right.
And a lot of times you're only one price adjustment away from getting the home where it needs to be. But sellers think by waiting sometimes that they're just not in a big hurry and they're just going to wait for the right buyer. And what's happening is every day that they're on the market, they are proving to the market that this price is not the one.
Right. Exactly.
And you have to get out of the emotional piece and the ego piece. Like I did this, I built that fence. I spent $100,000 on the backyard. Like, hey, they don't care. You know, they don't care. It looks great, but they like the other one better because it has a bigger backyard. Right. And it's just difficult. But when you're working with buyers, you know, the buyers, they want to look at 25 houses sometimes. And I love looking at homes, and you do too. But they are looking for, you know, what are the 4 things I need? You know, is it the school district I need? Is it the neighborhood I want? Can I see my kids and my family living here? And do I feel like it's worth the money? And if all those things line up, whatever their wants are, they'll do it. And how many buyers have you had that walk into a place and go, hey, look, I love this house. I'm going to pay, I'm going to pay. Every house in the neighborhood sold for $600, but I'll pay $750 for this one because of this. Nobody.
Right. Exactly.
Ever.
Right.
Never does that.
Exactly.
Never
that's that. And it's the emotions and it's the emotions of being the homeowner and having all the memories and stuff. And that's the hard part about when we're going to sell a house. We tell people to take some of the pictures off the walls and to kind of depersonalize it. And it's like, these people have lived here. Shoot, I'm selling somebody's house right now. We're on a contract. They've lived there for 45 years, raised their kids there, a bunch of grandkids there. Grandkids have graduated. I mean, they got pictures everywhere, this and that. I mean, that's home base for them. And it's like, and the first thing we had to say is, yeah, we got to kind of undo this just a little bit. I'm all for, I have a picture or two, but like pictures of grandkids all the way up the stairs, that's just hard because you got to try and get the buyers to see themselves in it. And B, you really do want to make it like this is no longer your home. We need to look at it as a house. Yep. We're trying to make this be their home because you in turn are going to a new home. Yes. I mean? It's like, and we need for this house to help set us up to have the best home on the other end. Well,
I tell like the whole getting the pictures out and, and sometimes like, I don't know if I want to do that. I go, look, you're moving. Okay. Mm-hmm. You're not putting your house on the market so the neighbors can talk about you're selling your home. That's what we're doing here. You are moving. Go ahead and start packing now.
Right.
Start boxing things up. Don't wait till we get a contract. Well, I'm gonna wait to get a contract. No, you're moving now. And that helps the sellers get into when they really start feeling them, they really start packing boxes and they start moving things out and getting rid of that, the 4 extra chairs they have in the basement, mm-hmm. all those things that that have been there for 20 years or 40 years, whatever. Then they can really start seeing, hey, I'm really doing this. I'm really getting out of here. And it really helps a lot. But you're right, man. The longer they've been in the home, they're like, well, this is my home. These are my kids and my grandkids. Yeah. But nobody cares. Like, they want to see their people in there.
Right.
They can't see that unless the house is neutralized.
Right. And again, it's just that's the hard conversation to have. But the good thing about kind of this market where we are now is like the agents, a lot of agents have left.
Yeah.
The real estate market. And I think there were a lot of as we call them, the onesies and twosies. Mm-hmm. And they're not learning, they're not studying this stuff. They're not bringing value to their people. And I think that what you're left with now are these realtors who really know how to serve their people and really know how to have these conversations and talk to people and really, help facilitate, the home sale, because it's a hard market right now.
Well, it's, one of the things I love about real estate and always have, anybody, part-time moms, dads, mm-hmm. Somebody trying to get out of a corporate job can sell real estate and make extra money to help support their family. I mean, I love that.
Right.
And I will say this, and I know you feel the same way. If you're going to take the step into real estate, it is not a get rich quick business.
No.
You can make a lot of money and you can do really well for your family.
Right.
Take it serious, learn your craft, learn how to, the number one thing is learn how to help people first and foremost. Nothing happens without helping the buyer or the seller. And sometimes the best thing you can tell them is, hey, don't put it on the market right now. This isn't the time.
Right.
Those
are great conversations to have. I've gotten a lot of people that have said they work with me because I did that, because I came in and said, this isn't, if your goal is this, why don't we wait a little bit so we can get that goal? And they said, I mean, because we weren't pushing, we weren't trying to say, let's do it now, damn it. And whatever. It's like, like you said, if we're willing to get with our people and bleed with our people and be in the mud with our people and slug it out with them, and that's how you build a business that lasts forever. Because they're people.
How much of your business is referral, if you had to guess?
I mean, so
you probably know, I'm sure. Not guess.
I mean, so I think right this year, anything that's either Sphere or past clients or whatever, I think I'm running like 2/3.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm at like 65, 70% of
same. Yeah.
And because that's one of the things that you love the hell out of your people and you take care of your people. Like I had one, they sold last month and they needed to get out. We had temporary occupancy and they needed help moving out. and it's like somebody didn't show up and whatever, and I'd freaking go over there and help the dad pick up a freaking washing machine and put it in the back of the U-Haul. And I'm like, what the hell am I doing out here? But it's like, you know what I'm doing out here? I'm helping my people. You know what I mean? And it's like,
I brought one of those young, strong boys you got around the house.
the one who's of age is at the Air Force right now. So he wasn't available. My next one's 5. So 5-year-old's not doing much.
Well, I think and Steve, thanks for coming and talking today, because I know you're busy and I appreciate you. You know, you and I collaborate a lot. I've known each other for many years.
Yes, sir.
And I appreciate you coming on. And what would you tell, if you're a seller?
Okay.
What would you tell a seller today? And what would you tell an agent today that's trying to start building a listing business? What would you tell the seller first? If you were going to meet a seller, you know, what were 3 things you tell? What was the message you'll say to the sellers right now? Hey, sellers, boom. What do you think?
All right. I mean, it's obvious. This is a long message, but the most important thing is we need to have the house ready. Always focus on the kitchen, the master bath, living room's kind of like 3B, but those are the most important rooms. And if you're going to put any sweat equity into the house, nail those rooms and really nail the outside of the house. Because if the pictures look great, they pull up to the house and it's a train wreck, they'll keep driving. Right. So there's going to be some prep work to really maximize what we're going to do. That's the first thing. Second one is we need to be prepared to be realistic on price and pack our patience. Things are going to happen with the deal. I mean, just about every deal that we're having right now, there's some kind of hiccup that's going on with the deal. You know, there's a contingency or there's some kind of, they've asked for something and the dates move and everybody gets upset and whatever. And it's like, and it's just, we got to just be ready for that. You know, I'm going to share this with you, the bad stuff. I'm not the bad guy. My goal is to get you moved, you know, but sometimes we got to share you something, but let's be, you know, pack your patience with this if you're selling. And, you know, and that's the big thing is to have the house ready and have a price right and hire somebody who is willing to have those tough conversations with you.
Yes.
Willing to, because I'll tell you, I not to extend this, but you asked and here's my story.
No, lay it on.
So I talked to a guy who was going to sell his house. He knew he needed to sell it for X to really clear what he needed to clear. And he knew he couldn't really do it. And we looked at the numbers like, no, you can't. I mean, you can't really, because other houses were selling for way below X. He still found an agent that was willing to sell it for X. I mean, it's on the market right now. Right. And it's like, I saw it. I just shook my head. And you'll always find an agent that's willing to list it wherever you want to list it. What I would do is I would ask the agent that's in front of you and say, look, all these other people are saying I should list here. You're saying here. I want you to be right. Please show me on paper. Please show me on the MLS where you think you can get that. You know, don't just tell me that because that's what I want to hear. You know, I want you to fight for it. Show me why I can get that. And if they can, great, and go get it. But, you know, I would say hire somebody who knows what the hell they're doing, because this market is not amateur market anymore.
It is not. And when people say, show me your marketing, Mark, what's your marketing plan? And we have a beautiful 28 point marketing plan, and even beyond that. Right. The number one thing, Mr. and Ms. Seller, that we can do to market your home is get it priced well. Right. Get it priced well. That's it. Yep. Nothing else matters. Yep. But that's the number one thing. You've got to do your job, get it ready. But if we're not priced right, none of it matters. And so that is the number one thing. And so you nailed it. Like have a realtor, interview 2 or 3 realtors. Steve and I love competition. We get a lot of deals from our past clients, and sometimes we have to compete there. Most of the time we don't. Right. But you and I both routinely go up against 3 and 4 agents. And I tell the people, interview 3 or 4 people, like really make sure you're getting in business with the person that you think is going to be the best fit for you. And it's not necessarily the one that's going to give you the highest price or tell you this, you know, some love story that may not happen. Right. Your home needs this, this, and this if you want to sell it for this. Right. Or have a chance of selling it for this. And it may sell for this. So you got to be ready for that. And you need like you said, you need a realtor who's going to tell you straight up how it's going to be. Right. Because I don't want, if I'm in the doctor, I'm in the hospital, doc, what do you tell me the real deal? I don't want to know. Don't fluff it. And you're the same way. You and I are just right on the nose with it. Like, here it is. But like you said, we got to, you know, I think somebody in our group always talks about, like, you almost have to ask your people on a scale of 1 to 10, how honest do you want me to be with you?
and everybody's always like an 8, right? So, but you almost have to preface the conversation with that. I want to come out and say, hey, look, you're not going to get what you want to get for the house, and the house needs this, this, and this, and da da da. You want to punch him in the head like that? That's awful. That's bad. That's bad bedside manner. But and as a realtor, my job is to be, it's our job to take care of our people.
Yeah.
And so and to kind of put on the velvet glove just a little bit.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we have to have that conversation.
The hard conversations are where usually the best outcomes.
Right.
You see the best.
And then, so you asked me what would I say to agents right now?
Yeah.
So I mean, the cool thing about real estate is we can get deals anywhere. You never know where you're going to get. You never know if you're going to buy something from someone on Facebook Marketplace, and they happen to talk about, we're getting ready to sell our house. Like, oh, really? I mean, you never know. The important thing is you have to be out there. You have to know your stuff. You know the market. Like when friends ask me all the time, so what's going on in the market? And so I give them a little something, not as in depth as I want to. Like I sit down, I'll give you a 30-minute dissertation, but know the market, study it, and just bleed for your people. I know too many people they've made a career out of expired listings. I mean, I know that for a while you were, but I think that you did a really good job with expired listings of taking care of your people on the backside. Right. And during the process and loving on them and creating. And I know a lot of guys who do this, who do the expires. They love making the phone calls and whatever, and they just don't take care of their people. They sell the house and they're going to be calling expires till they're 95 years old.
Yeah. Because
they never built a business where you love on your people so much. Your people say, dude, you got to use Mike or you got to use Steve, and that's kind of the business you've got to build. So if you're an agent, that's what I would say. Know your stuff, tell everybody about it, get out in front of as many people as possible. And if you're blessed enough to get a listing, dude, love on those people, bleed for them. So much so that they tell everybody they know.
Yeah. I mean, I mirror everything you just said and add a couple of things. Like if you're a realtor out there, if you're new, if you're not quite getting the traction you want in your business or you're struggling, you don't have any listings, you're not working with any buyers, get out there and take some action. Stir that pot, get out there, go preview 50 listings, vacant listings in 2 different counties. Like get busy, go out looking at, know the neighborhoods, know what you're talking about. Cause you're going to meet somebody on Facebook Marketplace or Kroger or somewhere. And they go, oh, do you know, Falls of Archer Mill? Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Oh, great. Well, we got a house in there. You got a friend selling a house. I mean, you got to be ready for the conversation. Well, great. Right. I'd love to meet with you. How about we just get together next week and I'll come by and talk to you about your home. And then, great.
And to your credit, like you said, sometimes like sitting around not doing anything leads to you sitting around not doing anything. Sometimes you got to get in motion, just simply getting in motion.
Yeah.
And everything's on social now. Everything's on YouTube. Everything's on whatever. If I'm going to go out and preview a house, take a quick little picture, say, man, awesome house, got a chance to look at today.
Yeah.
Let people know that you're out there. You're out there looking at stuff. You're out there keeping an eye on the market. Just let your people know that you're out there. That's part of it too. I mean, it stinks that we have to kind of play those games now. We got to sing and dance that way. Not literally sing and dance like on TikTok or anything, but that's what people are looking for because they know that that's the stuff that sells. It's having an online presence. So that'd be another thing I throw in there.
Yeah. And have a good online presence and get Google reviews because people are looking at that. Like people are looking at when they're going to interview, by the time we get to the house, I have found by the time I get to the house, they've already done all that. LinkedIn.
Yep. They know you. They know you more than you know you.
And I'm like, hey, look this up. Like, yeah, we already did that. Okay, great. And so that gives you an opportunity to get in front of somebody to not just get the listing, but to see if you can help them solve their problem. My son's like, he's 11, I'm on 12. He's really smart. And when he's really young, he's like, Dad, you sell a lot of homes? I said, yeah, buddy, I do sell a lot of homes. But you know what? The main thing is I help a lot of people through a process that can be really scary for them. And it can be very, nerve wracking and stressful. And I help them. I walk them through that process and help them get to the finish line, whatever that looks like for them. And he goes, well, that you're helping people. I said, that's right. That's exactly right.
you
And I
go.
said, it's built a business, son. And it's good to, when you put people first, you're always going to have a good business. And just like you're doing over there, man, Mr. Referral.
There you go, baby.
All right, brother. Good. Well, listen, man, everybody. Hey, listen, it's great doing these. We're going to do some more. Steve, hey, thanks for taking time. I know you're busy, buddy. I know you got a lot going on, big family, big business. Thanks for taking the time. And
when Mike Price says, can we do this? I say yes. Mike's my guy.
You're my guy too, man. So thank you for the compliment. And let's keep crushing. And Steve and I collaborate all the time. Find a really good, strong realtor in your area that you can collaborate with and bounce ideas off like we do. So
there you go.
Appreciate you, Steve. Have a great day, everybody. Have a great start to your weekend. That starts tomorrow. And reach out if you need anything.
There you go.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Mike.